and welcome to another beautiful episode of Memoir of a Niger Girl. My name is Helen. On today's episode, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna have fun, we're gonna learn, and we're gonna really laugh. But serious stuff, guys. So on today's episode, we'll be talking about something very important. We have an amazing guest with us, Mr. Macaroni. Yeah, we have Debo Adedayo. He's popularly known as Mr. Macaroni, and we'll be talking about Mr. Macaroni is going to be in his element, so we're going to talk about everything Mr. Macaroni. This is going to be a fun episode. Are you ready? Because I am. Let's go. We are actually doing well, absolutely doing well on this episode. My name is Helen, and this is Memoir of a Niger Girl. You can see we have Mr. Macaroni, yes. Although I don't know where he got that name from, we're going to find out. So when you hear Mr. Macaroni, what comes to mind? Acting, comedy, or activism? Mr. Macaroni in his element, yes, in his full glory. We're going to talk about that today and a lot more. Hello, Mr. Macaroni. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well.
Welcome on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, who is Mr. Macaroni? Because I'm like, your name is Debo Adedayo.
Yeah. Adedayo.
Adedayo.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. So, and Mr. Macaroni, how is that? What's the relationship?
Mr. Macaroni came to play, I think, since around 2011, thereabout, or 12. You know, then I used to do a lot of auditions. I used to get a lot of roles in all these sitcoms.
Okay.
Face to Face, Papa Jasko, you know, Super Story and more. But it was just one scene, two scenes, you know. Then, you know, nobody know you, so
Right.
nobody will give you better role, you know. So that particular day, I was on the set of Face to Face.
Right.
So just a scene, I think, an appearance. And we always have one thing that we say in theater, you know, there is no small role. You understand? So I'm correcting that. There's no small role.
Right.
It depends on how you bring the role to life.
The interpretation.
So I think that particular scene, the director liked the way I was interpreting it. And then he said, oh, look, you give yourself a name. That it's possible they might write more scenes for you. So, you know, it took me by surprise. Give myself a name, Ke. So from nowhere, I just remembered Mr. Macaroni riding on a bicycle. So I just said Mr. Macaroni.
Okay, you know you're actually the latest fake husband of Lagos. Do you know that?
I know.
And you now claim to be single.
Yeah.
Are you sure you are single?
I'm single. Single and not searching. Everybody there will know.
Can you hear that? So it's one thing to be single, it's another thing to be saying,
exactly.
Okay, I'm single,
but I'm available. But this one I know for now, I'm not ready.
So, who is Mr. Macaroni and who is Debo Adedayo?
Debo Adedayo is the actor.
Right.
Mr. Macaroni is the character. Mr. Macaroni is the image I try to portray. And then, of course, Mr. Macaroni as a brand has different parts. There's Friki Daddy, there's Daddy Montunde, there's Professor Hardlife, there's Young Guy, you know, different parts to him. But Debo is me. This is Debo talking to you. Right. Debo is fully aware of what is going on. And, you know, so I'm talking to you as Debo now. Mr. Macaroni is another image that I have created out of Debo. He's in another world, and Mr. Macaroni performs in the world around him.
I would really like you to be Freaky Daddy for me today because I need you to freak my account.
Oh, you need me to freak your account?
Yeah, absolutely.
So are you ready to do what you should do as our Makama?
I don't know what you mean by that.
Oh, okay, but you know what it means to freak your account.
Yes, everybody knows about that.
You are not doing well.
Okay. Let's talk about the activism part of you.
Yeah.
You know, we all know you as a comedian, but we cannot take the fact that you are an actual activist. You know, so on social media during the EndSARS, you were on ground. Let me first ask you, what was the trigger for you? What spurred you to action?
Well, because as a person, I'm always very aware of the things I want, the kind of space I don't want to be in. I cannot be intimidated. I cannot be threatened. No matter what you do to me, you know, I always find my voice. So that's always been my person. And I've had encounters with the Nigerian police severally, you know, even before I became popular, right? So, and it wasn't pleasant. You know, it was arguments upon arguments. So most of the time they just say, okay, you carry your wallet, they go. Because me, I always do what is right. I always make sure I try to do what's right. So there's nothing a police officer is asking me for that you won't have. So far, I should have it.
Right.
You know, so those experiences, when I saw the killings in Ugeli, I'm like, come on, you know, this is. But then, you know, everything was still. People were not really talking much. But then people started to tweet. A lot of people started to tweet about it. And then people said, look, we need to protect. I remember, you know, Fauzan, what's the other name? I think it was Nairamali that first came and said they were going to protest. And then it cancelled. Then Fauzan.
Davido?
No. Fauzan, no, it's not Ricardo.
But Faust was the main
Fauzan
guy.
Run Town.
Oh, yeah.
Fauzan Run Town. So they said, look, we'll come out. And people came out. But then I noticed a lot of people were out in Lekki, you know, on the island. And it seemed like, oh, the attention, because of course, Faust is a force, Run Town is a force. A lot of celebrities that will be going at forces. People want to see these celebrities. So, but on the mainland, Alausa to be precise, Renu was there that day, you know, and a couple of other people. And then, and I also started seeing tweets that they were being harassed there. That the police, because of course they were not much and there was no popular person among them. So I said, oh look, I will go to Ikeja, and so I got there. They said they were going to sleep there. I said I would sleep with them. So I slept with them that night, and the next morning it was out. Everything was.
Were you ready for a day like that?
Ready? Not necessarily. Not like I was looking forward to a day like that.
Yeah.
You know, but it came, and I could relate with it.
Right.
I've always said to myself that should we ever be united, and should we ever come to our senses and say, look, we deserve better and we want to talk about it, you always find me there. So at the moment, it wasn't like I was looking forward to it. You know, it's not like we expected bad things. We are expecting or praying for bad things to be happening so that we can be out there or whatever. But when situations like that come, we should be prepared.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For someone like you who has stood up against injustice, even in your university days,
Yeah.
you know, a situation that actually got you in trouble, don't you have any fears?
I think to say I don't have any fears will not be true. I think we all have fears. So sometimes there's the fear. But what overpowers that fear is the consciousness, the courage to know that what you're doing is not for you, but for the greater good. So you're thinking about the circumstances, you're thinking about what you're standing for. So that erases any fear. You know, so it's more of being intentional about what you're doing. So I'm saying, irrespective of what they are going to do or what we've heard them do, we are still going to speak up, because when you say you're living in fear and you don't want to speak up, then it
will continue.
It will continue, and then you might even die from that. So why don't you just, if you, Baba said, if you talk, you die. If you don't talk, you die.
Yeah.
So why not Kukuma talk and die?
Yeah. You know, the African parents, they have a way of pampering their kids. Your mom, your dad, do they call you and like, when you're up against these very powerful people, do they call you and say, listen, Debo, slow down? Absolutely,
all the time. You know, especially my mom, especially because we have, it's something that has been consistent since university days. University 1, 2, 3, 4, different issues. So, you know, of course, as a mother, and one who loves me so dearly for that matter, you know, and my dad too, calm down. So now that Debo is even out there, people know who Mr. Macaroni is. It's even, my mom will be like, you know, but it's a function of who I am. Sometimes I've tried to stay back and not even interfere in certain things, but my spirit will not just take it. But I find myself in those situations because I believe that I cannot just help but lend my voice to issues that affect us as a society.
As you said, University 1, University 2. I mean, in a situation like that, I mean, that longer, you spent much more longer years in university.
Absolutely.
And then you came out of university, started doing well for yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing well. And then this happened. Do you ever felt like, okay, I went through that, why am I doing it again? Is it not time for me to just whatever? Now I'm fine, now I'm made. Why am I worried about it?
Yeah. So that's what I thought too, that maybe when I become successful, I would be laid back and just enjoy my life. But then this moment made me realize that I think the only reason God made me to be successful is to be an impact to my society. I don't think there are other people that are more creative than I am, more entertaining, greater than I am, or however it is. So, but that God has said, look, you are surely, I'm giving you, I bless you. I honestly believe is so that I can use my voice to
your platform.
Yeah.
And you're actually doing that. In the Nigerian landscape, the trust factor is very deficient.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Why do people trust you?
I don't know. I can't say everybody trusts me.
Do you know that people trust you?
A number. I see those comments. I meet people. I go to places and they say, Macaroni, they pray for me. And so I have that sense. At the same time, I also know that some other people don't, especially people who support the government and all. But why I would say maybe they support me, they trust me would be maybe they have seen the antecedents and they have seen that, okay, maybe this guy is just doing his thing, which I am just doing my thing. I don't seek for validation. I'm not doing it for you to like me, because if you were that, I think people that used to love me before now don't like me again. A lot of, these government people, politicians and everything, once they hear Macaroni like this, you understand? So it's a function of people maybe acknowledging that this guy is genuine. Yeah.
Because during few months ago, when the comedians, the skit makers, they went to see the vice president of Nigeria, and I am one of the people that actually like to go through the comments. I want to see how people think, our mindset, how we come together to actually talk about something that affects you and I. And people said, oh, is Debo there? Debo is not there. That means you guys went for something bad. That means you guys went to collect bribe. And I don't know, as much as I don't know whether I subscribe or I do not subscribe to that. But people actually like Debo would not be here. You would never see a Debo here. You would never see Faust here. What do you think you did? I know you already said that. Oh, maybe people actually think you're genuine. Do you think the EndSARS sort of prompted them to see your genuineness? Yeah,
perhaps. And I think the fact that I was arrested by the police and subjected to that level of dehumanization and brutality perhaps drew the sympathy of the people to me. And they feel that if this guy can go through something like this and then he comes out and he's still speaking up, then maybe. So I've also said before, and I'll use this platform again to say that those people that went to see the vice president, I have nothing against them, and I don't think people should have anything against them. These are people, maybe they perhaps start seeing the vice president and telling them the situation would perhaps do something. So I don't subscribe to people holding others to the standards, to my own standards. If I don't want to see the vice president or the governor or whoever it is, I have my own personal reasons. I've always said, if you want to know my idea about the state of the nation and the things I think, go to my social media, go to my Twitter. You will see all my rants there. You will see the things I want you to correct. So, but if you now want to see me personally, take me to a platform. Bring me to a platform like this, where someone like you is in the middle, and then we are talking to ourselves. You understand? So let's be accountable to the people, that to the Nigerian people. So don't call me to one corner and think So basically, I think that's it.
After the dehumanization of the Nigerian police, after they treated you the way that they did you seek counseling?
Counseling, no. I will be counselor now.
Typical Nigerian.
I'll be counselor, my sister. Me. So after that happened that night, I felt more angry. I'd never been that angry before. So what that even did for me is to actually make me more stubborn. Because now I feel like, okay, so you did that to me. We don't enter the same shoe with that.
So you don't show me.
Because being in the cell, the way these guys were beating me, there was so much joy. They had so much joy. They derived pleasure doing that. So I said that, okay, if you can treat your brother like this, your fellow youths, because they were youths too. Not be the old men beat me now. So I said, okay, now, let's kukuma. So I had an idea of how devilish, how brutal they can be. Okay, if this is the part, then let's carry on.
After the protest, how do you see our clamor for change?
Well, to some extent, there's been some change. The way it was, especially in the area of police brutality, we still see those things, but we can't compare it to what it was. Then it was very rampant. Now there's a slight change, but if for one thing, what it did for us was to solidify in the hearts of the political space or sphere that these people have limits. If you continue to push them, they will turn back, and it might not. If they didn't do what they did, they knew how long that would last, and that people would actually. So, but again, it was also a learning curve for us because we saw what they did. So next time, if at all, we'll carry out another protest like that and say we want better, we want this, we want that. People have seen what they can do, and I think people will be prepared for it.
And the better Nigeria, do you think we are on that road to getting it?
It's going to be tough. There's a lot of disunity even among people. The politicians have weaponized poverty. So it's why people are getting poorer by the day. It's why there are no job opportunities. It's why there's no level playing ground for the average Nigerian to succeed in Nigeria. So it's because poverty has been weaponized. And of course, because even the religious leaders are not helping matters, there's a lot of disunity, tribal disunity, religious disunity, so these are the tricks they use on us. So it won't be easy, but if we continue and, we continue to clamor and we convert this energy, the energy from the EndSARS is what I've been shouting. We need that energy from the EndSARS. We need to convert it to our political presence. We need to say, look, the youths in their numbers, even the elderly ones that want to join us, we want things to change. Only then can things begin to truly change. Because, and I always say that we adapt to a lot of things in Nigeria. Nigerians have been cursed with a mentality of survival. The average Nigerian will tell you, oh boy, as a Nigerian, if you survive for Nigeria, if you survive for anywhere, we take so much pride in it. It is stupidity. So the things that we should have access to, we do not have access to it, and we are surviving without it, and we feel is the normal thing to do. So I think we need to break that jinx, and then we need more of the unity.
The youth that we all are fighting for, we're fighting for ourselves because we're also youth. I sort of feel like we don't support each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because few days ago, we saw what happened with Macaroni. It was on Twitter. Many people thought he lost. He didn't win the primaries. Yeah. They were trolling. Of course, the APC guy is also a youth.
Yeah.
Okay, we want this guy because we're trying to change government. Obviously, you have already stated clearly that you're not going to support anyone from these two parties.
Absolutely.
But do you think that we are not really, we are not united as a youth?
Well, it's part of what I said. Apart from these tricks that are being used as weapons against the unity of the people always have disagreements. People always say, it's A I like, and then people will say it's B I like. And that's totally fine. It's only fine if you know that A and B are going to work for the people. It's a different case when you know that either A or B are not even interested in developing the society. So I think people will always have disagreements, but the problem I have with these disagreements should be to foster the development and future prosperity of Nigeria.
Let's clear the hair. What do you have against Lagos State's governor?
I have nothing against the Lagos State governor.
Okay.
But I'm not impressed with his performance thus far. I feel totally he has performed worst out of all of the governors that we have had in the state. I was born and brought up in Lagos State, So I've experienced governors, and for the fact that it was under his administration that I was brutalized, under his administration that innocent protesters were killed, dehumanized, pardon me, and of course, the level of security in Lagos State, we've not had it this bad. Traffic robbery every now and then, it's absolutely insane. So I have nothing against him. I'm only charging him to do better. He has sworn an oath to serve and protect the people of Lagos. So he has to do that. So it's nothing personal. I have nothing personal. In fact, people will ask me, when I make these comments, some of the supporters will come and say, but it's under his administration that you became popular. And I ask them, I tell them, they should tell me one thing that the Lagos State government has contributed to my career. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. And if you ask every a good number of people. Now, what has Lagos State government done for you? Or what, there was even a time I asked, what has the government as a whole, be it federal or state, what have they done for you? You find that people are only surviving by themselves. I mean, you are here doing your thing. What is Lagos State government doing for you? The crew, everybody is hustling, everybody is doing their thing. So the government has not provided a level playing ground. The situation of Nigeria is rigged against the average Nigerian, such that when you are born and you develop, you grow to a certain level, schooling is a problem. Even when you rakpala to finish school, to find job is a problem. When you find job, to get contracts, maybe you feel you can execute this, it's a problem. Because there are some people that have captured that space for themselves, for their children, for their relatives, their generations to come, while the average Nigerian has to struggle to get whatever he or she is getting. Then you finish struggling, so as it is, I'm the one.
The thriller for this podcast is, in Nigeria, you have to know somebody that knows somebody. In fact, that person now has to now be a friend of another.
Absolutely.
Person. Because the whole thing is so choked.
Yeah.
It's so choked, but we have people like you fighting for us, and I hope that we know that. Let's go on a very quick break. We'll come back very shortly to talk about elections So we are back, and I still have with me Debo Adedayo. Hi.
You are doing well.
Absolutely. I think so let's talk about the election, the forthcoming election. What are you looking out for?
I'm looking forward to leaders coming forward, leaders that we can trust, people with great records, not people with questionable characters.
But can we actually trust anybody in this country?
We'll start from somewhere. See, look, there's like I just said, people that are not with questionable characters. There are some people that are out there already that you already know. We all already know their characters are questionable. But there are some that will come out, or they are coming out, and their characters are not questionable. Those are the type of people we need to give a chance. So it's for the Nigerian people to support those kind of people, because we can't say, oh, this is our only option. What do we mean by this? So it means we just want to continue to recycle and recycle and recycle. So we need to give the chance and support. It is we doing ourselves. If we can rally around together and support these people, these new faces, or people that we know that, even if they are not new, people will know that, oh, okay, this person has done very well before, another chance.
But do we have these people in these two popular political parties?
I don't bother myself with people in either APC or PDP. I don't mince words when I say their names. They are there. There's no denying that they are the two most popular political parties. But when you say that you are tired of these two structures, what you need to do is it's not going to, people will always say, well, for how long, when will you people, it's not going to change in a day. Even the APC that we're talking about, we know how they came together, different parties, they merged, how they fought before they got PDP out of power. Now they have done their own, is even far worse, and now the agenda is PDP is coming back to say, oh, you see APC. So I want to ask, if we say, oh yeah, PDP come again, and PDP should do nonsense, APC too will come back again and say, oh, you see PDP messed up again. No, So there has to be a force. There has to be, and that's why I keep saying that force would have been the energy we converted from the EndSARS protest. The people that have had enough, the people that are fed up, we converted. It's not, the change won't happen once, but at least we must let people know that these these two parties, they don't even have structures. What is the founding ideologies of PDP and APC? Is the ideology is that of corruption and incompetence. There's nothing.
Are you a carrying member of any political party?
No, but I want to join one now. I won't give you the name now before, but not be sure. I already said, I think it was the day before yesterday, I was tweeting it. I said it on Twitter. I said I'm going to join one, but it would never be APC or PDP, because I don't believe when looking at them, there was no convincing political ideologies, no foundation for which these parties were created. So that's why you will have what you have. You understand? So and that's why it will be very difficult kudos to anybody trying to go into the system to change that. It's very commendable. But we have seen people that have tried to come in to change this party, to do better. Great people that we all love, we all respected, leaders of Labour Congress, leader of this, that have, and then all, what did we get from it? You understand? So a structure is just like saying you are seeing cultists somewhere. Cultists doing their meeting. You, as a very good boy, you now say, see cultists too. I want to change this cultist. I mean, go inside, initiate me as a cultist. I will now change all of you. So why don't you, that you don't like cultists, be on your own, or have a group of people that don't like cultists and say, oh look, the cultism is bad. This is anti-cultism. We do not support cultism. But you as an individual, you will end up being the organ of the cultists. Yeah. So these are conversations that we should know. It's very difficult to change structures that corruption favors. These politicians thrive on corruption. That's why they are there. That's why an ex-governor can have houses in 36 states in the country. It's that level of corruption that they are not willing to leave because they know it protects them. The average Nigerian is not protected. Who are the people that police harass on the road? The average Nigerian, if you are a big man driving a big car, the police will not dare harass you. If you are a youth, if you are driving a big car, they will stop you, but there are some capital of course. If you are a rich man picking or you are a politician picking, they will leave you. It's only when they ask you and they see that you are a nobody that they will harass. It's the nobodies. Meanwhile, the government is feeding fat on taxpayers' money, the citizens' funds, and using it to enrich and protect themselves. So these are structures that have been rigged to favor a few. The politicians, the rich people, and their caucus. The average Nigerian is left to suffer and die.
Let's talk about some of the very, that are not so average Nigerians, which are your colleagues.
Yeah.
You know, these days is social media day. During the EndSARS, everybody posted the 505, we want this, we want that. Celebrities have influence in the society because of their platforms, right?
Yeah.
It brings me to asking, why do you agree? Do you agree that any celebrity should be campaigning or influencing for politicians? Because they are using the I'm an influencer to campaign.
Yeah.
Do you have a problem with that?
Well, like I said, I have made my reservations about these two political parties. But at the same time, I will not say anyone should not belong to a party that they want to. That would be me trying to
freedom of speech and expression.
Their own rights. I'm trampling on it. It's fine. People that want to choose. So, but then as a celebrity, if you perhaps feel that this candidate in this party is someone you believe can change things, you have a right to campaign or influence for the person you want to influence or campaign for. The onus lies on the people. So if I go and I bring a serial killer to you as an influential person, I go and bring a serial killer to you and I tell you this is the person you should vote on. Should you vote for that person? So there are a lot of things we can say that public figures influence others to do, but at the end of the day, it is the people that will question themselves that if this person is saying we should do this, is that what is good for us? Because even the people who have their own share of the blame. We do. Politicians will come and pack money for you and you have started singing their name and singing their praises. So how are we different from these celebrities? How are the celebrities different from us? So that's that about that. I just feel my own charge and call will be that the celebrities know that these people are no good. At least some people is clear. It's not a function of we want to try out. You already have a record of recklessness from some certain people. It will be a disservice as a public figure to now endorse that person. It's dishonorable.
And in a country like Nigeria where many people don't have minds of their own.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, this person said, because I love this person.
Exactly.
Do it.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying, that while the people have their own share of responsibility, celebrities will have their own share of responsibility to know that there are some people that they should not start saying people should vote for, given their track record of corruption and incompetence.
Okay. In this day and time where Me Too campaign is everywhere, should comedians still tell rape jokes?
Rape jokes. I have boundaries. As a matter of fact, I think on Sunday, some days back, the Nurses Association, they said there was a video. Before I agreed to some certain things, because I'm very stubborn. But when I saw the angle from which they came, I was inclined to agree with some of the points raised. Normally in contents like that, a line or two would correct that notion. For instance, when we entered the hospital, I would have said, no, this can't be a hospital. And then, oh, it's not a hospital, it's a special center. That clears that, oh, it's not, yeah. So I always like to set antecedent, but for some reason in that content we did not. So I understood. So I, as a person, because of my principles, I have boundaries. I will not tell a rape joke. I will not do some contents that would put a particular profession, a group of people in a certain box. You understand? If at all I'm creating such a content, I will make sure to reveal that, oh, look, it's not the right thing. It's, So, I have boundaries. Rape, underage thing, a lot of things are not, so I don't...
Because many comedians will say, oh, it's hurt, and okay, I'm not saying I should go and do it because you should know it's not good. But if I'm in a place and a comedian is telling a rape joke, maybe if I was a victim, how would I feel?
Exactly.
I keep saying it. I don't think, and I don't believe. It's not my stance that you should say rape jokes. It's not funny. I don't think rape jokes are funny.
Well,
they are not funny.
There are boundaries, and I think those boundaries should be respected.
And we should talk about sex for exposure, don't you think so?
Absolutely. It's dishonorable. It's madness. I've said it not now, not once, not twice. Even before I became as popular as this, I've said it. Nobody be saint, but there are some things you do not do because you have the power or the influence, and you say, oh, before I give you a role or before I cast you for a certain role, I must sleep with you. So how many people would the girl sleep with? Or how many people are you as the producer or the star going to sleep with? So I think it should be discouraged highly, and I will always continue to condemn it.
But why is the entertainment industry still in this morass?
It's not a function of the entertainment industry, it's a function of the people. It happens in the hospitals, it happens in the educational sector, it happens in the health sector, it happens everywhere. It's because as entertainers, you're a public figure, you're popular. If a popular celebrity dies today, or an old celebrity dies today, media outlets will say, oh, another old this thing died today. Don't people die every day? Don't old people die every day? They do. But because celebrities are popular, it is news when they die. So it's not a function of just the entertainment industry, it's a function of we as a people not knowing the boundaries not to cross and not respecting the dignity of our humanity. So it's something all of us have to work on, and not just celebrities alone.
Ayla is a different role, so let's talk about your acting career.
Yeah.
Ayla is an absolutely different role.
Absolutely.
You hate. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You hate that role.
Yeah.
I mean, because for you sometimes they're always putting you in your should I say your comfort zone, which is comedy.
Yeah.
But Ayla was so different. Being Ayla's PA and everything, you did an amazing job.
Thank you.
And how did you come into character? How did you?
Well, because I'm an actor. As a matter of fact, people can't box me into comedy because I'm not a comedian. People will argue that I'm a comedian, and even when they want to tag me, they say comedian. It's okay. I'm grateful to God that you can even call me a comedian. I started creating content out of depression. I never believed that I could be funny. I'm a serious actor. Give me roles and I'll eat it. I'll eat them up. So it's not a function of... so it's because I became popular through content creation. And because at the time I was aware that a lot of people in the online space, they're just looking for something to crack them up. So that was why I started to tailor my content, trying to find humor or create humor, because of course as an actor, you should also be able to interpret different roles. And when I started, I saw that people actually found humor in what I do. Oh, glory to God. But I'll never be angry or find it sad if people don't find me funny. Sometimes I don't want to be funny. Some of my contents are not even tailored to be funny. That some are strictly tailored to address societal ills. Some are strictly tailored to talk about some certain things. Some are to make you laugh. So if you don't laugh, I've tried my best, So I mean, that's what content creation is for me. So as an actor, bring any role. That's my work as an actor. Would interpret it.
So you see yourself as a skit maker or a comedian?
I see myself as
An entertainment mogul.
as an actor,
Okay.
a content creator. That's what I see myself. So it could be in any of the genres.
So who is your favorite skit maker? One. Okay. Let me be nice.
Yeah.
So I'll let you pick 5.
Okay. 5 of my favorite. I like to call them content creators.
Okay.
Yeah. Of course, Brother Shaggy, my guy, love him so much. Twice. There is a long list, yeah. So, but people that come to Twice, Kiki, I love Taoma, what else? There are a lot though. Like I was saying. I love, what's the name of this
Kiki,
one?
Tauma, Brashagi, Twice?
Yeah. I mentioned Twice.
Yeah.
I love Maraji.
Yeah.
I love Maraji. Beautiful stuff that, I mean, everybody is doing very, very well. Officer Walsh is my brother. I love his works. Everybody is doing well. And that's the thing. One man's food is another man's poison. Someone will tell you, I love macaroni. Then another person, I don't see what you do. The same person, but if now Walsh, I love Walsh. If now Nas boy, bad one. Everybody has preferences, and that's totally fine. The same way I love some footballers and some others don't thrill me. That's life.
And Sabino's few,
Jesus, Mumu man.
The AMVCA
Mumu man.
People felt like he shouldn't have won. It came
Absolutely unnecessary. Trying to feel, well, if you are a true fan of mine, you will know that I would never even condemn such I would never condone such a reaction. Saying that someone doesn't deserve an award on the day that is awarded, it's not nice. It's not a nice thing to say.
Fans do too much.
Yeah. So it's fine if you feel, Macaroni deserves the award. I have a cabinet full of awards, and there's no denying that by the grace of God, days will come that I will get more, and days will come that I will not get. It's the reality of life. You understand? So there's no, if you want to ask that currently, by virtue of statistics, by virtue of humor, by virtue of these things, of numbers, who is trending as a content creator right now? It is Sabinos. You will be naive or be hypocritical to say otherwise. It's fine if you don't love his content, but you're asking right now that there was a time my content, once I drop a content, it's everywhere. A lot of people, so that time comes. You understand? It doesn't mean the person will not still be in the game. The person is still in the game, but other people will come, and that's the beauty of the industry. We need to continue to give space and chance for other people to develop. Nobody say you yourself go forget yourself. Me say I don't forget myself now. I see they create content, but people always have differences, and the great thing to do is to respect individual's choice.
Okay, we really had fun, didn't we? Thank you very much, Debo, for being on the show. We're going to be back someday.
No problem.
Then,
of course, we should also be able to meet. You said I should freak your account.
Yeah.
So maybe after this interview,
sure?
Of course, we'll go. But the camera won't know what transpired between us.
No camera today.
You want to send it to...
International shit. Thank you very much. This is Memo of a Niger Girl. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. As always, please go out and vote. Go and collect your PVC.
Absolutely, very important.
Okay, this
very
one
important.
is not the time for you to be.
Very important.
Yes. So let's see next week. My name is Helen. Don't forget to follow me on social media. Helen.love.23, Helen.mwang. Memo of a Niger Girl is available on all podcast platforms and on YouTube.